Just drip all on my body, soaking wet the sunny. Looking like a walking lick, yeah, you can tell I'm grinding. Rolling back was full of loud, I can't hear nobody.
What's up, fuckers? Episode 27, The Beer Latte Show. I'm Steve.
I'm Nick.
Danielle.
And today we have Andrew on the line. Andrew, how are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm doing okay. We spoke briefly that you might have some interesting ghost stories.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting because all my life since I can remember, I've been dealing with ghosts, I guess you can say, like in one way or another.
Like you're friends with them?
Yeah, you can say that. Yeah. Pretty much, it's weird. It's I can say that I've seen ghosts almost since I was about 10 years old until like recently. So.
And when you say you see them, what do they appear like? Are they all different or?
They've been different. For instance, the first time that I saw one was we were moving out from our old house, and I was sleeping with my brother. We had 2 beds, and the backyard doesn't really have that much light. It's pretty dark back there. So I remember I was trying to go to sleep because, I was nervous about the move and all that. And right when I'm about to fall asleep, this bright light just shines through like the window. And I'm thinking like, okay, there's only 2 things that could be, either a burglar or a ghost. So I look outside to see, what the hell it was. And it was pretty much like a middle-aged woman wearing like a white flowing nightgown. And she's pretty much lit up, like pretty much head to toe lit up. So I get freaked out. I go to my parents. They go to look outside to see if they've seen anything, and pretty much there's nothing there. So that's the first instance. The second one, it's the same person, but this time we're in the new house, and she's slowly going around the pool area. And the second roundabout the pool, she disappears, like fades away. So
Do you ever make contact with her, or like does she look at you or acknowledge that you're there, or vice versa?
no, it's just she seems very like in a glance, a trance type of way. She's never really made any contact or look my way, but I've seen her like on numerous occasions, and she's doing it like the same thing. And it's always when we have a pool in the house that she'll always go around the pool, kind of like protecting it, like in a way.
And what do you make of that?
The one thing we've kind of came to the conclusion is she could be maybe like our guardian angel or someone's guardian angel. And I guess the way that she goes around the pool, maybe it's a way of, I guess, protecting or I guess blessing the pool, kind of, to make sure no one drowns in it.
Oh, wow. That's cool. Does she look like you would assume she would be an angel, or like, is she like, I don't know, like your typical looking, beautiful, flowy angel?
Yeah, I can't really. The thing is that her face is always, because I guess the light comes from her face, so you don't really see it like clearly, but the bone structure is pretty much sharp. But like pretty much, she seemed to look like a really attractive woman, but the face I couldn't make out.
But you feel more safe, not threatening when you see this one.
No, this one would, yeah, it's every time I would see her, I feel like everything's gonna be okay in a way. Like I don't feel scared. Like the first time I saw her, of course I was scared because it's like I've never seen this before.
Yeah, a little shock factor.
Yeah, but since the times I've seen her, it's more of a, I guess it's like a more of a, we know that she's there, and I think she knows that we're here, and she just, does her own thing.
That's so weird because you're in 2 different homes, but
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out why she might have followed you.
yeah, like maybe she's like,
Well, it's I could only say maybe because it's the pool aspect of it, because she did appear. The last time I saw her was like back when I was living with my parents. I moved out back in 2012. That's the last time I seen her. Was she was going up and down the stairs, like back and forth, and the second trip going up, she just faded away.
so that's not around a pole, so that's kind of neat.
Maybe she knew you were leaving. It's like she was saying goodbye.
Probably, yeah. It's yeah, because I've like since that like we've never really seen her, but yeah, that's the last time that I saw her was.
And are you the only one that ever has seen her?
My mom has seen her. Other than that, that's it. I pretty much am the main one that sees her, and I tell my mom like, "Hey, I saw her again," and we kind of have this understanding where like, yeah, she's present, but it's not that big of a deal because that doesn't happen. Like nothing bad happens. It's just it feels like she's trying to protect the family from something.
So cool. Either she's your guardian angel or she's like an old relative, like an ancestor or something that's moved on, right? I don't know. That's crazy.
Yeah, it could be that. I mean, it's like every time I've seen her, it's like she's circling something or she's doing something like twice, and by the second time she's does a full around, it's she's gone. So
Well, they say sometimes that there's residual energies, like that ghosts are one of two things, either residual energy or like, like a loop kind of. Like,
yeah,
so that kind of sounds like she'd be in a loop if she's doing things twice.
yeah. But the other times I've seen spirits is pretty much like the last time I saw one, it was we were dealing with like a family. It was actually my uncle passed away right a week before Christmas. Um, and it was on Christmas too, which is the weird part. But I had a little get together at my house, and my in laws were there, and they go, "Hey, we want to go home." We're like, "Okay, fine." So I go away, drop them off at home. My wife stayed behind. When I was dropping off my in laws at the house, there's like a four-way stop area, and I normally take it as a shortcut to go back to my house because my house and their house are like not even like that far away. So I'm at the stoplight. There's no cars anywhere at all, just me. So I stopped at the stoplight, and all of a sudden I see like someone on a motorcycle come to the other stop sign, and it's like me and the other person they're staring at each other, and it freaked me out because my uncle passed away in a motorcycle accident. He was big into motorcycles. So I'm standing there, he's standing there, and it's like I didn't know what to do because a part of me was like telling me, okay, I should go, but a part of me was like saying, what's going on? Because the thing was that you saw the motorcycle, but you didn't hear it. Because normally, like because my window during like the cold times, it's down because I left the code. So my window was halfway down, and I didn't hear the motorcycle at all. I felt like it was nothing around me.
That's
So
pretty
when I
weird.
made the left turn to go down the street that I go down, I look in my rearview mirror to see if the motorcycle was still there. And when I looked back, it was gone. So
And so I'm going to ask you this again. What did you
yeah.
gather from the way that you guys looked at each other? Because there must have been a reason why you've seen him.
Well, the thing is that because it was at nighttime, so I didn't get a good look at the motorcycle. But the type of motorcycle I saw, it was kind of like, huh, like it was kind of like the same shape. Like I could see the outline of it, but the weird part about it is that there's been time like during that time I was staring into like the guy, like the motorcycle guy, and it's like I could see through the helmet because he was wearing like a helmet, but I could see through the helmet. I can see like an outline of like a face, and it really looked like my uncle, like the facial features and all that. But I didn't see the whole face because like for some reason like it's when you I guess like in my instance when you see a ghost, the face it's like the middle part, like the main eyes, nose, and mouth, it's kind of like
Blurry.
blocked off in a way. So you only see like the facial structure and the features.
Right. It's kind of like a
So
translucent face in a way.
yeah, it's just it's weird, but yeah, that time it was really weird because during that time my brother was over at my house spending the night because it was like during the funeral part and all that. And I remember he went to get something, and this was during the day too. He went to get something. He was going to turn left, and then just like what happened with me, a motorcycle guy came next to him, and he looked at him, and he looked at him, and he didn't. And the thing is that after that happened with me, I told him that what happened, and he told me that's the same thing that happened with me. I stared at the guy. I had the right of way to go, but I couldn't go, and they just stared at. He stared for like a brief second, and then he went. But then when he looked back, he was gone as well.
And were you both close with your uncle?
Yeah, yeah. The way that he passed away was very sudden. We got the call that week, and we had his funeral on the day before Christmas Eve. So it was a hard holiday season that day,
Right.
that year. But it was it seemed like after everything was settled with like the funeral, it was, I guess, he tried to make one last contact with me and my brother, because it happened with my brother who was staying over here, and then we came to find out by the end of the year my other brother had the same thing happen to him.
Wow. That's
So
crazy. How about your mom? What was this, your mom or your mother? Or
it was
father?
my father's brother.
Did your father have any kind of weird things?
I don't think he did. The thing is that my brother, like my dad and his brother, they weren't as close. But yeah, he didn't have like that type of thing. So
Well, at least you got somewhat of closure, and he moved on because he literally moved on in front of you all.
yeah.
That's good.
It's just crazy what can happen.
I know. Could you imagine?
Not really.
No. No, I guess unless you're faced with it.
Yeah, I don't know. It's comforting.
Yeah.
Strange. It's not so shocking, but comforting. And today, back at it, we have Flying Fish. Today we are trying their simple SMPL hard seltzers. 3 different flavors, all of them being 100 calories each, 5% alcohol, and apparently gluten fucking free. First up, blueberry and peach. Smells fucking pretty delicious.
Pretty awesome.
I can smell blueberries and peach. Who would have thought? And it tastes like blueberries and peach.
Yeah, it's really light.
I guess as a seltzer, 100 calories, supposed to be light. Doing a good job. I'm liking the combination flavor.
Yeah.
Hitting blueberries up front, like peach in the end.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. And when I smell it, I think I smell a stronger hint of blueberries over the peach as well.
Definitely tasting the peach, though.
Oh, the peach is definitely in there. Definitely delicious, though. It's different having combo flavors versus all the other hard seltzers out there being single flavors,
Are they all single?
as far as I know. These guys switching it up with the combos. And as the first ever hard seltzer hop scale, blueberries and peach, Danielle, where you at?
I go 7.2.
Okay. All right, Nick.
Are there even hops in seltzers?
It doesn't matter. It's hop scale anyway. It's no gluten-free, no hops.
Yeah, 7.4.
Okay. I was thinking like a 7.5. I'm pretty happy with that flavor, honestly.
Yeah, I could drink a bunch of those.
You could drink a bunch of anything.
Oh, yeah, but this will help with my figure. They're only 100 calories.
See? It's like those 100-calorie yogurts, too. It's like a snack.
Nice.
Next up, we have mango and kiwi. Mango being a very popular flavor for all the other hard seltzers for everybody out there. Strong-ass mango flavor. Be honest, I really don't know what kiwi
Not
smells
flavor,
like.
smell.
Smell.
Yeah.
I don't know what kiwi smell like, honestly.
No, I would say that I could smell kiwi, actually.
And as not knowing what kiwi tastes like, still delicious. A lot of mangoes in there for me.
You've never had a kiwi before?
Don't think so.
You're sheltered. Yeah, this is good. I like it.
Be honest, I'm liking it slightly more than the blueberry.
A little bit more potent.
A little more flavor to it.
Yeah.
A little more, yeah. A little more, yeah.
A little more, yeah.
A little more, yeah. A little more fucking flavor in it. I'm liking it better. Nick, what are your thoughts at?
It definitely came off with a stronger smell than the blueberry one.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah. And almost like a stronger taste, too. It's almost more fruity.
Yeah, I'd agree.
I don't know if that's just mangoes are just a fruitier fruit.
Potentially.
A fruitier fruit. Well, if you think about it, blueberries don't really have much of an amazing taste. They have a taste. They're just not overly tasty.
Makes sense.
Mangoes are.
I'm digging this one.
All right. On your still a hop scale, because that's how I fucking roll. What are you thinking, Danielle?
7.5.
Wow.
Wow.
All right. Nick?
With not as much enthusiasm, 7.6.
Oh, he's always got to one up me.
Yeah, I was thinking, and it's hard because there's nothing compared to besides the blueberry prior. I'm probably going to be at a, I'll go 7.6 too.
Yeah.
You know, it's better than the blueberry just slightly. And last up, we got pomegranate and lime.
Oh, that's got a nice smell.
See, I like pomegranates. I really hate limes, to be honest.
Oh, I love the smell.
No, that smells interesting though. I can smell the lime in there.
And it's got deep flavor. I just tasted it.
Yeah, I'm always like, when they get the Corona, they want the lime. I said, fuck it, keep that shit.
Yeah, no,
So I don't know.
it's not too limey.
Wow. That's actually really good. I feel it's more lime than pomegranate though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would
Like
think
a
so.
like a more flavorful Sprite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It definitely has a strong lime taste to it.
I was almost thinking I wouldn't like it because of the lime, but
Maybe it's the mix.
could be. It's not bad. You know, all these are like certainly day drinkers sitting on the beach, not worried about that heavy feeling sometimes you get from like other beers.
Not even sitting on the beach. You could do this anytime.
Oh yeah, but I'm talking about like, you know, hanging out when you're already hot and you don't want to be worried about that. Yeah, sometimes you drink a couple beers and you feel like almost bloated.
Yeah.
This, you don't feel fucking nothing, which is a good thing.
Yeah, well, that has to pertain to the whole 100 calories aspect of it.
This makes no sense to me. The alcohol is from fermented sugar, but there is 0 grams of sugar inside. So I guess they just ferment the sugar, take the alcohol, and throw that part into it, throw the fucking sugar out. I don't know how that works. Well, Danielle, on the last flavor, what are you thinking?
I'd go 8. It's got a really good smell also.
That's your favorite, huh?
Yeah, I would
Okay.
totally choose that.
And Nick, what are you thinking?
7.5.
Okay, I was do like a 7.4.
Yeah. They're all very tasty.
Yeah, I like them. They're good. They're good to have. I'm not afraid to say that as a man. I will drink those seltzers. And that is Flying Fish. You can find them on Instagram at Flying Fish Brew and online at flyingfish.com. And as always, you guys can find us at thebeerlatteshow.com and the Beer Latte Show on Instagram and Facebook and Beer Latte on Twitter.
I don't know. Anytime I'm at a funeral, I'm always looking above the casket just to see.
He's like, what's up, everybody? That'd be fucked up.
Well, I don't know. You never know. Sometimes I say to myself, because I think these ghosts or spirits could actually hear my thoughts. Sometimes, actually, at every funeral I've ever been to, I've always said something like, if you're here, I'm here looking.
Very invasive they are, huh? Listen to your thoughts.
You never know. Thoughts are just energy.
Yeah, that's kind of rude.
Is it?
I mean, I don't listen to your thoughts.
Well, that's true.
Or you.
What? Yeah, that's true. What? So was that the only 2, or did you have other experiences?
It's weird because I had a one time where I'm not sure if this happens with other people that see ghosts, but for some reason I get dreams where I'm talking to the person that passed away.
I think that happens with a lot of people.
It's weird when this happens because this happened twice in my lifetime. The first time when I was in 7th grade, I had a friend, like pretty much like my first friend, like in school, and he was diagnosed of cancer when he was in 7th grade. So I had, and me and him, we were close, and him and his sister, we were kind of close too. So it was kind of weird because I was dealing with like the whole cancer aspect, like way before I can even process what that is.
Right.
So I just remember, how he would, before the whole cancer thing, he was all like, energetic and all happy. And then right before he passed away, you can tell it's like it takes a lot out of you. So he passed away roughly January, February, I believe. And a week or 2 later, I was having a dream, and the dream was really weird because it was like I was in my front yard, in my driveway. The sky was like, how can I explain it? Like the sky was very bright, and I was outside my house in the front yard next to my parents' car. And he comes, and the person that passed away of cancer came up and rode his bike and parked it right next to me. And he came up to me, and we hugged, and he goes, "Hey man, how you doing?" And I'm like, And I like a part of me knew it, like it was a dream, but a part of me didn't know what to think. So the first thing I said was, "Didn't you die like a few weeks ago? I don't understand what's going on."
Right, right.
And he goes like, "Yeah, about that. Yeah, I did." And the thing is that was really weird about this whole thing was I was conscious that I knew that this was a dream, but and he was I was asking him questions. He was actually, telling me about it, and we're talking about like, like kid stuff, and I'm like, why did you have to go so soon? I mean, and he just looked at me. He goes like, honestly, I don't even know. I got here, and he's like, hey, how you doing? I'm okay, and I'm here.
That's awesome.
And I remember he was wearing like a white shirt, white pants, white Converse, white socks, and like just all white. And I'm just talking to him, and I'm like, well, how is this even possible? Because like last time I saw you, you were like skinny. And he goes, oh yeah, yeah. Once you come up here, like your whole body, like you die as what you were most happy with, and I guess this is my happiest form. And then I'm like, well, is there anything you want me to say to the guys at school? Or and he gets up and he goes, just say I'm in peace, and then rides off. And then I woke up in like a sweat, but I felt like my body was physically tired, and it felt like I was walking for like maybe like 2 to 3 miles, and after you get back from your walk, your body tends to like rest and all that, and that's how I felt. I felt like I was like resting my body from a long journey.
That's crazy.
So the next day I went to school and I told his sister, because his sister used to ride the bus before they moved away, or like actually a month after he passed, she moved. They moved away, and I told his sister like, "Hey, it's gonna sound crazy, but I had a dream last night, and they did it, and I was telling her the dream, and she starts to cry because it's still
Right.
fresh in her mind, and she goes, "You're like the fifth person to come up to me and tell me they had a dream about my brother."
Oh my God, I
Wow.
just got chills. That's weird.
Yeah, and I'm like, "What do you mean?" And she goes, "Oh, so she named off the names of the people that had the dream with him, the same exact dream that I had, and it's pretty much the people that he hanged out with the most. So it was me and three other people, and apparently us four we had the same dream.
Oh, wow.
So
So you're all in your front yards?
yeah, like, and I met up with the guys, and I'm like, "Do you have the same dream?" And they word for word said exactly what they were pretty much the dream that I had.
That's crazy. That is unbelievably crazy. I mean, I've dreamt that I've spoken with the dead before. In fact, one of my friends continuously comes to me, not recently, but a lot of the times, and I always know their past. But and they know their past too. It's just like we're meeting up in a dream, but for other
Right.
people to have the same dream, that's crazy.
You think you were like tired because he like somehow had to use your energy in order to like manifest himself into your dream or something?
It kind of felt like that. Yeah, like it was hard to explain what. It's the only thing I can really think about is like when you've been on like a run or like a walk, and you come back and you get yourself changed and you're bathed and you're relaxed. So your body's trying to kind of like recharge itself. It's like that.
That's crazy. I don't know what that would be, but maybe. Yeah, like the manifestation process or something. I don't know.
Well, like some people say, or even those shows, like the power's going out and things happen, lights flickers because like the energy's like trying to charge itself up in order to manifest. It needs some type of energy source.
Well, yeah, they do say that.
So maybe his friend took it from him. Maybe it's possible, and that's why he was super tired afterwards.
Yeah,
He
maybe.
just borrowed your energy. Was like, hey man, what's up?
Yeah,
I don't know. I'm just throwing
exactly.
it out there. I have no fucking idea, but
That's cool. Oh my God. That's a lot of
hey,
Paranormal stuff.
You're a popular person.
yeah, right?
Yeah, I mean it's weird. Like it's funny because I actually host a horror podcast with my best friend about horror movies, and he doesn't believe in ghosts, but I do. And there's been times where we've actually had like discussions, like telling him, like, dude, it's real. You have to believe me. He goes, nah, it can't be real. And I tell him all these stuff, and he goes like, man, maybe you were just young and you didn't know what was going on. And I'm like, no, you don't understand.
Yeah, so when it happens to you, it's super profound. Like, I guess you'd have to experience it yourself.
Yeah. And it's and I guess the reason why I have it is because I guess my family has some sort of like it's hard to explain, but my brother has dealt with something like this before too. Like, I'm not sure what exactly, but he's been. I think there was one time that something happened with him, but I'm not sure what happened.
What about your grandparents? I'm just trying to see if it's in your lineage as well.
My grandma does the whole what do you call it? The little Spanish voodoo stuff, but I mean,
There you go.
I don't partake in that because I don't. She does it like kind of creepy like, and I don't like that. So
You're like the second person I've heard that said that about their grandparents.
well, no, okay. So I'm not okay. Oh man, so my grandma has always been into like I'm Spanish, and so the Spanish word for it is botanica. It's kind of like like voodoo, and it's
Black
so
magic,
weird.
kind of.
Yeah. So my grandma, when she had her own house with my grandpa, he had a 3-bedroom house. So my grandma would have the master bedroom, my grandpa would have the other bedroom, and then there was one bedroom left over that was her voodoo room.
Her whole
And
entire voodoo.
it was a weird room. It was pretty much she would take like sheets, black out the sunlight from it. And it was just like a makeshift bed, and all around the whole entire room was like creepy dolls, creepy like face masks from like Africa or something like that, and like just anything you can think of that was creepy, she had.
What did she do? Like, was it like fixing the evil eyes or anything, or was it more like dark and sinister kind of?
I would say dark and sinister. Like, she won't admit that. She was like, no, I'm doing good stuff. Like, no,
No.
that room. Because if you were, that room would not be a terror to sleep in. Because every time I had to go sleep over at her house,
She
that
put
was
you in the
my
voodoo
to sleep
room?
in.
No.
No,
Why?
no, she was. Yeah, oh my, like growing up, like me and my cousins, we all share this one thing: is that if we had to spend the night at my grandparents', we always have to sleep in the voodoo room.
Oh, man.
And sleeping in the voodoo room was like a rite of passage because you would never get a good night's sleep. You wake up grumpy, and then you will get yelled at by my grandma because you didn't go to sleep.
Why couldn't you sleep on the couch?
My grandma's an old person, so everything is full of noisy plastic.
Plastic. Yeah, I was
Yeah.
gonna say.
And the only thing that wasn't full of wrapped in plastic was the voodoo room because she claims that she has to breathe. They have to breathe. I'm like, great, awesome. So
Oh my
Who's
God.
they?
that's like she had like I have a fear of dolls because of her. Just picture this: you're 10 years old. You're still like trying to figure out like, okay, I'm 10 years old. What the hell is going on here? You have creepy dolls dressed up like an old Puritan costume staring at you. It's pitch black. 6 o'clock in the afternoon too. I mean, in the evening. Then there's a mugshot of someone, I don't know who it was,
Why?
on the wall. And I think she would purposely put it to where, because she'll make up the bed. Okay, here's your bed. Here's the blankets. Here's the pillow. Okay, good night. And she'll always put the pillow where the mugshot is parallel to it.
Oh.
So when you're sleeping and you used to toss over, you open your eyes, you see just a creepy ass man on the wall, just staring at you.
Was he like maybe a relative or her brother went to
No.
jail? No?
Nope. I asked her like, who's this guy? She goes, he no one. I'm like, well, why do you have a picture of him? Oh, he's someone that does what I do back in the day. It's a long story. I'm like, okay, great.
Well, you should have went straight to grandpa.
Oh, my grandpa was like, oh, no. That's not my department. I'm like, okay, great. So,
I tried to leave 30 years ago. She stuck me in the voodoo room, and that's it. I'm here.
yeah, and the funny thing is that it got really bad because she tried to get like my cousins and I involved in stuff, and we were like, no, I don't want anything to do with that. And I'm not sure how this came about, but she goes, "Oh, come with me to a cleansing at my friend's house, because we're gonna do a cleansing of the house." And I'm like, what do you mean you're gonna clean the house? She goes, "Yes, spiritually." And I'm like, "Oh man, no, I'm good." So she goes to my dad and she tells my dad, like, "Hey, I'm going to a friend's house. It's a party. I want Andrew to come." And of course, my dad goes, "Yeah, sure, why not? Um, it's a grandparent wanting to take their grandchild out. Why not?" So I go into this house. It's like it's in Kissimmee because I live in Florida. Kissimmee's like the epicenter of Botanica for some reason. So I go to this person's house. Very dark. It smells. And I walk in and she goes like, "There's evil spirits here tonight." And I'm like, "What?"
Oh crap!
You're like, guess who's not here
And-
tonight? Me.
Yeah. So then, she sat me down. She goes, "Hey, don't worry. Just sit here. I'll take care of everything. I'm gonna have my friends come in. Don't get freaked out." And when someone tells you don't get freaked out,
Yeah.
you're gonna freak out. So she opens the door. In comes three people. The first person, older man, hunched over, bald headed, has white eyebrows and a white mustache. Salvador, like pretty much the Salvador Dali of like Botanica walks in. Second person was pretty much the lady from the Poltergeist, but in Spanish form.
No, really tiny.
Yeah. And then the third person was just a normal person. And I'm thinking like, okay, there's no way she's involved in this. Maybe she's the owner. So my grandma goes, "Oh, this is my grandson. Say hi." And I'm like, "Hi, how you doing?" First one looks at me and goes like, "I got my eye on you." Second one goes, she just stares at me. The third one goes, "Hi, how you doing?" I'm like, "Hey, are you with them?" "Oh yeah, they're my grandparents." I'm like, "Oh, okay, great. So you're not doing the whole cleansing thing?" "Oh, no. Oh, that's good. Yeah, I just come here after, and then I have to clean up the whole mess." And I'm like, "Oh, the mess?" And she goes, "Yeah, blood, bones, all that,
What?
stuff." And she's telling me, she's like, I think she's in her 20s. I'm 10, and I'm thinking like, blood and bones? What is this supposed to? What? So like, long story short, they went around the whole house. They had, I don't know how they got, like, they had a crate of chickens. They cut off their heads. And apparently, they're supposed to spread the blood around the whole house. And like, the older guy was smoking a cigar and spitting out his loogies onto the floor.
Ew.
And
It's the
I'm
worst
like,
fucking
I'm
cleaning
watching
ever.
this. Exactly. And then
That's
I'm
the
watching this,
opposite
I'm
of
like,
cleansing.
apparently, I don't know. Apparently, on the drive home, my grandma said that he did that because he was spitting out the bad stuff and spitting it out of the house. I'm like, but wouldn't he spit outside the house?
Right. Or in a bowl?
No. What she claims is it has to seep into the ground of the foundation of the house, so it can stay underneath the house, not inside the house. I'm like, okay, whatever. I'm 10 years old. I shouldn't even be asking you this, but okay, that's fine. Whatever. So
Your first question should have been, this is not the kind of party I wanted to attend. I was hoping there would be music.
no, oh no. They have music, but it's just like monks chanting in the background. And it got really weird. And then they did like a whole like my grandma was smoking a cigar too, blowing air and like everywhere and throwing water everywhere. And I didn't even see the owners. So I'm thinking like, was I just involved like in like a home invasion? Because I don't see anyone here. So so she's doing it, and then they're done. So here comes the third person with like a mop and a pail and like dish rags, and she's cleaning everything up. And I'm just sitting there, and my grandma sits down next to me. She goes, "So, you want to do this with your grandma more often?" And I'm like, "Nope, I'm good. I'm good." So
What kind of question is that? Hey, you want to cut some chicken heads off next weekend or what?
oh man, yeah, and like I felt, and then when she dropped me off at home, I walked into the house and my mom found like a chicken feather on me,
Oh,
which I didn't know. Like I'm not sure how that got on me. And she goes, "What's this?" I'm like, "Oh, uh, we went to a stage show." And my mom's like, "Oh, what'd you guys see?" Uh, the Miserable? I don't know.
oh God.
Because I didn't know what to say. Like it's like I can't tell my mom. Oh yeah, my grandma was just sending she was cutting off chicken heads and spreading the blood around the house.
That'd be the first stuff out of my mouth. Like whose mom was this? Your mom or your dad's?
My dad's,
And
and
did he
she's
ever see anything weird like that?
my dad. My dad's the type of person that like he doesn't want to get involved in stuff, and he just wants to go like, you know what, whatever you want to do, that's on you. Just don't bring it to my house.
Right.
We'll,
Okay.
we'll be fine.
So this wasn't going on when he was a little boy.
I'm not sure. I think no, because I think this happened when she moved down from New York to Florida.
Oh, that makes a lot of sense.
For some reason, I guess it's custom if you're an old person in Florida, you have to do something weird. So I don't know.
I think all Floridians are known now for crazy stuff.
Yeah, Sally, we are, yeah.
That is terrifying. That's so terrifying.
So, did your grandmother try to take any of your cousins to do any cleanings, or were you the lucky one?
They tried, but my aunt was knowing what she was doing, so she always turned her down. But when it came to me, she'll tell my dad something completely different, and he'll go, "Yeah, sure, go on ahead." But then it stopped because he actually went to pick me up early from her house, and he walks in, and he notices that there's like a doll near like the door, and there's a cigar like right next to the doll, and she goes like, "What the hell is this?" And my grandma goes, "Oh yeah, this is the offering for the doll to protect my house." And he goes, "Okay, all right, where's my son?" "Oh, he's in the kitchen right now cutting up cigars at the end so I can smoke them."
That's slave
And
labor.
he walks in, and then I'm like, I'm cutting off heads of cigars. I just put them like in a tray, and I didn't know what they were. I'm like, "Yeah, they're candy, right?" Like, "Oh yeah, the candy."
She told you they were candy.
Yeah, I mean, like, what are you gonna tell like a 10-year-old? "Oh no, they're actually like cigars I'm gonna smoke to get my house cleansed." Oh, yeah.
I mean, because then I would be fearful that you would have tried to taste it.
I don't know. I mean, I cut them, and then like when my dad walked in and saw me doing it, she just goes, he takes me out and he goes, "Yeah, he's not coming over to this house like for a while." And then the next week, she calls up my grandma. "Oh, hey, can you watch him for like the night? Because we're going to go, out for dinner." And then, so I'm back at it.
Well, that quickly changed.
Yeah,
Back to cutting cigars and cleaning shit up.
yeah, pretty much.
I mean, I think we could all agree our grandparents were a little bit weird, but I feel like maybe you got that prize.
Yeah.
Is your
probably.
grandma still alive?
Oh yeah, she's still alive. Still doing the Botanica, but not as active as she once was. My grandpa did pass away back in 2015, 16. And I guess after he passed away, she decided, look, I'm not going to do it anymore. But then after a year after that, she started doing it again.
Has your grandpa ever come to you?
No, but there has been instance where like when we talk about him sometimes, like you hear things dropping or something happens, and then we kind of go like, why is this happening? Um, the instant one I can think of was when I was at my parents' house. We were talking about my grandpa and how he used to, play, because my grandpa was like was very funny. He was always be, playing jokes on everyone. And and he played like a really good joke on me, my dad, my uncles, and my cousins at his funeral. And this is actually a funny story.
What?
Yeah, it's the most funniest thing that has ever happened to me at a funeral. So when my grandpa passed away, we had like a little church service, and it was they would need pallbearers to carry the coffin down and carry the coffin back to the hearse. So they picked me and my dad, my uncle from New York, the one that passed away like a few years ago, his son, and then my other uncle who's still alive and his son. So we're in the lobby of the church. We're just talking, whatever. All of a sudden, we see the coffin's door, the front, like the one of the doors of the coffin, like pops up,
What?
and we're like, we're talking, and we're like, did this just happen? So we go over to it, and it's like you can tell like it's still sealed tight, but the door is like ajar. It's not flush with the other door. So we're looking around, going like, what do we do? So we're trying to push it down, and won't go down.
Oh God.
Meanwhile, the funeral director comes by, and we all turn around trying to hide the fact that that door is open. And she goes, is there anything the matter? And we all go, oh no 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 no, we're good, we're ready to carry the this out. So she leaves. We go back to the coffin. The door is not closing at all.
Oh,
So we're trying to figure out how to close this door. So the funeral director, like the mass is about to start for the casket. So we're about to carry out the casket. So right before we have to carry out the casket, I look at my uncle, I look at my dad, I'm like, what do we do? And my uncle goes like, oh, God. And he pretty much Macho Man Randy Savage's elbow drops the casket door shut. And it works. It worked. And so just picture at a funeral mass, you see three grown men and three like in their 20s trying not to laugh walking down the aisle of the casket, which he had the elbow drop to close.
Wait, was it an open casket after that?
Pretty much what happened is that there was the open casket viewing and then the service, and then after that they had like a whole church mass type thing. So the casket was closed and it wasn't going to be open. But to have it open ajar and not able to close it and doing the elbow drop on it because we have to close it because we can't walk out when it's half ajar. But I feel like that was his way of giving us one last joke because it was hard for us not to walk down the aisle, not to laugh. To where when we put the casket where it should be, we walk back and my wife goes like, "Are you okay?" She goes, I don't know. I don't know what the hell just happened.
So you guys have no idea how it opened? Like maybe I mean, sometimes bodies get rigor mortis. Like I would want to know.
The only thing I could probably think of maybe is the person didn't close it right. But we were literally not even near the casket. It just popped. Like we were literally like maybe like a feet away from the casket, and it popped open.
Oh,
And we're like,
would
why
die.
is this casket open? So
That's scary.
Did it make like the rickety door like sound like?
no, it just you just heard a big like pop noise, and I'm like, did someone bring balloons? And then when we look, we're like, oh wait a minute, that's the why is this open? So
Hell no. That would not be me. I would have ran away from the casket.
yeah, but I mean, we kind of took that as a whole like, hey, this may be a funeral, but you're gonna have some fun at the same time. Which that was how my grandpa was. So
So it's fitting.
yeah.
So you said that you have a podcast and it's about horror movies?
Yeah, pretty much. It's called the Ghost Host Horror Podcast. Pretty much, what we do is we watch 12 horror movies. Could be B-rated, could be a really good movie, and pretty much what we do is we take the main characters from the horror movies and we put them in like a March Madness type bracket, and we pretty much have them fight it out to see who would be the more deadlier killer. For our first season, we had Clownzilla from Killer Clowns from Outer Space taking on Sam from Trick or Treat. So
That's pretty amazing.
Yeah, that's awesome.
yeah.
That is awesome.
Yeah, so but we do horror movies, we do true crime stuff, and then for bonus ones we do watch-alongs over like horror-related stuff. Our latest episode we just released is based on the 1990 primetime special, the 1990 Horror Hall of Fame, which was hosted by Robert England. And pretty much they just go into like history of horror, which is pretty interesting. But then you have people like Chucky going over like horror movies while making racist jokes. So
What? First you got Freddy Krueger and Chucky, isn't it?
Yeah, it's interesting. It's something that was done in 1990, and we saw the whole thing, and we were like, how did this even happen to go on air? Like, this is crazy.
Maybe it was like an HBO special or something.
I think it was on NBC actually.
NBC?
Yeah, they did 3 of them. We're gonna be because right now we're doing. We have one more episode to go to do our 3rd annual. What we call it the Deathmatch Series tournament. So we have one more episode to go before we do our 3rd one, and then we're gonna do another watch along over the 1991 Horror Hall of Fame, which would be even more interesting. So
Who do you think will win?
so right now we have for our entrance, we have Candyman. He's in it. I know that. We have Candyman. We have the Granny from an unknown horror movie called The Granny, really bad B-rated horror. We have, we just pretty much take the most outrageous horror movies we can find, and we just go, hey, let's see how this goes. So
You got like Night of the Living Dead in there, all those like old fashioned ones, like Freddy Krueger, Jason, all those, Michael Myers.
yeah.
So did your experiences, you think, get you interested in horror movies?
Horror has been a really big part of my life growing up. With me and my cousins, I have cousins who are girls pretty much of the same age. And what we used to do is we used to go to Blockbuster back in the day, and we used to rent out all of the Jason movies, and we would watch them from first all the way to like part 9 was when he went to hell, because 10 doesn't exist. So, but
10 doesn't exist?
yeah, there's a Jason 10 where he's in space, and you don't want to know.
Jesus.
Yeah, but yeah, it's like, I guess with horror, it's like, you need an escape from reality and, what ifs, I guess. And, because right now we really do need that.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, horror and me it's been like bread and butter pretty much.
I used to love horror. I remember when I was in like, I don't remember how old I was. Oh, 3rd grade. I saw my first double feature, but we went with our friends were like Portuguese, and we lived in Newark, New Jersey. So their cousin was bringing us, but she didn't speak any English. So we got into our first double feature of My Bloody Valentine and the first Friday the 13th. I knew I shouldn't be there, but I was there.
That's cool.
It was cool. Yeah.
And what about Leprechaun in the Hood? That's an old time favorite right there.
Yeah,
that little guy can fuck people up.
Yeah, I don't know. I think Leprechaun in space would be kind of actually more campier, though. I don't know, because you have to be in space somehow. I don't know why, but you have to be in space.
You can get there. You just like show up, and he's like, "What do you say? A friend with weed is a friend indeed." You like show up, and then like the guy wouldn't give him anything. They fucking like killed a black dude for like not giving him any weed. It was like crazy, like no reason. Or I think he beat him up or something like that. He came after him. He was an ugly little fucker too.
Oh yeah.
Gotta watch that again.
I've seen some serious B-rated, scary, stupid movies. Like one where this guy was living in the vents of just like a house. I don't even remember what it was. It was the worst scary movie
It's one
ever.
hell of a vent system for a house. Doesn't even make sense.
It didn't. But I worked at a video store, so I could get all my videos I wanted.
Imagine like the Blockbuster late fees right now for coronavirus. People need a fucking mortgage to pay that shit.
Pretty sure there isn't any blockbusters left.
I said, imagine what they would have been.
Imagine.
No,
She doesn't pay attention.
I think there's one left in Alaska. Not gonna lie, I think there's one blockbuster still around.
Yeah, I think it's either in Oregon. I know
It's
that,
Oregon?
Yeah, I know that it was in Captain Marvel. They filmed it. They filmed.
Oh, they
the
filmed
whole-
it at that blockbuster?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
So what? They're just what? Why
just
is
one
there
blockbuster.
one?
Yeah,
It's all they can afford. Even that's running in the red.
That'd be like Lowe's movie theater just going down to one. Like, what's the point?
Yeah, exactly.
So what is like your all-time favorite like horror movie?
Oh man, there's so many good horror movies. I have to say my all-time favorite, hands down, is a classic, and it's the original Psycho made by Alfred Hitchcock.
Wow, that's good.
I know some people, when you think about horror, you think about like, blood and guts and gore. But with me, I'm a huge fan of psychological movies, and Psycho is by far the best movie I've seen that does a lot to mess with your mind, and then at the end, you're like, I don't know what's real anymore.
Wow.
That's fair.
Yeah, I wouldn't have expected him to say that actually.
Yeah, it's like, because I'm a fan of that. I'm a fan of like movies that pretty much play with your head. I honestly, one of the underrated horror movies I actually have on DVD is a 1 hour photo that actually stars Robin Williams, who he plays. It's pretty much like
Yeah.
Alfred Hitchcock esque movie, pretty much.
Oh my God, that's right. I totally forgot that movie even existed. Now I gotta watch. I don't think I've ever seen it.
Yeah, it's underrated, and I feel like if Robin Williams did more horror movies, because I think he did that, and he did one called Final Cut, which was like a same thing, but it was okay. But 1 hour photo is by far a really good horror movie to watch. If you haven't seen it,
That's cool. Well, Steven has never seen any horror. Well, he has, but he doesn't
No.
like them at all.
Yeah, I don't like them so much.
He doesn't like horror movies.
No, I get caught up in like the stupidity of them too. Like the gory ones where like the fucking person falls and the killer's walking at like nearly backwards, but he catches them up anyway and then like stabs them. It's so stupid. Or they know not to go through the fucking door. They go through the fucking door. Like, come on.
Yeah. No, they
Yeah.
do stupid
It
things.
kills me.
Like I'd be running and I would never stop running.
Yeah, I'm over there like, don't go through the door. No, yeah, he's going through the door. Now you're dead. Look what you did. Like,
But you've never seen stuff like The Omen and stuff, so you would never know a good
have you even heard of it?
horror movie. I know. Well, it's a good one.
What are your thoughts on aliens?
Aliens. Oh man. Well, as we all know, this year the Pentagon released UFO footage of a UFO for some strange reason. So I don't know. You know what? Is there other life out there? Maybe, I'm not sure. But then again, if you look at it with Mars, pretty much there's evidence of pretty much what life was or were there. So you know what? Yeah, aliens probably. Yeah.
That's fair.
That is
I just figured you said you've seen so many ghosts, you'd probably be all for aliens.
like he has
Yeah,
a choice.
I've seen more ghosts than aliens. Yeah.
And by more, you mean zero, right? You haven't seen any aliens.
Oh no, yeah, no, I don't know. I mean,
Unless
there's one
ghosts
time
are
when-
aliens.
That he remembers.
Yeah, I mean, there's one time that I mistook a plane for a UFO when I got freaked out, but then after seeing it was a plane, I'm like, okay, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I mean, unless you were wrong and it wasn't a plane.
I was 10 years old. When I was 10 years old, I was dealing with some really weird shit. So,
Yeah, I was saying, everything's 10. You got some
Poor
fucking...
kid.
Yeah, that year was hell.
when I was 10 years old, it's like life's like, okay, let's throw a lot of curveballs right now.
Oh my God.
He's looking out the window, sees like a UFO with like chickens flying it. You're like, what the fuck?
Yeah, there you go.
I did the same thing when I was little. I was driving in the car with my dad and I was like, that is a UFO. And my heart started pounding and everything. My dad's like, nope, that's not it's just a plane.
What could have been, you know?
It was scary.
I didn't see any ghosts though. Not like this, like not like walking around a fucking pole or in your house or anything like that. I want to. Not tonight, but like maybe like a different one.
Maybe like in the daytime
Yeah.
when there's other people.
Yeah, that's what I don't get. Like, you didn't see any ghosts in the daytime, did you?
For me, no, I haven't seen any ghosts during daytime.
I just wonder why.
Oh, that is interesting.
Like no one has. No one's like, hey man, the other day I was like going to Starbucks and I saw a fucking ghost. Like it just never happens.
Huh. Well, maybe it's hard to see translucent beings in the daytime. Maybe they're there, but you just don't know.
It's possible. I don't know. You gotta throw like chicken blood on them so you can see them.
Or powder.
There you go. It's safer. Scooby-Doo style. Well, Andrew, why don't you, I know we briefly talked about it, but why don't you tell everybody where they can find you?
Yeah, my podcast is called the Ghost Host Horror Podcast. We are on Archive, Spotify, any podcast platforms. We have a Facebook group. We have a Twitter. So, we try to release episodes every other week. But yeah, we cover horror movies, true crime, and everything else in between. So if you're interested in that, or you want to hear two guys just make fun of the most worst horror movies ever, we're your guys.
Fair enough.
Awesome.
And as always, you guys can find us at thebeerlatteshow.com and Beer Latte Show on Instagram and Facebook, and Beer Latte on Twitter. We'll see you guys next week.
Yeah. This drip all on my body, soaking wet the sunny. Looking like a